This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, we got news! Breaking news! They did it. They banned Omnath in Standard. Hashtag ban Omnath. We took over the world. We fought the good fight. We pulled it off. Omnath is banned. Lucky Clover is also banned, and the streets ran red with the green ooze of the clover as they were smashed against the wall. And as if to put a nail in the coffin and say, enough with the adventure, enough with the ramp, enough. We get it. We're done with it. Escape to the Wilds is banned? That's the double tap, man. That's to be sure. To be absolutely sure that none of us have to play these adventure-y, Omnath-y games ever again. We banned Escape to the Wilds, Lucky Clover, and Omnath of Creation, leaving me in a spot of what kind of a video do I make? Because while I could read you the news, I like to give you a different deck every day. It's sort of my thing. You guys are into it. I can tell. You watch it a lot. It's really awesome. So there was a tournament over the weekend. Congratulations to Austin Bursavich. Congratulations also to Aaron Gertler. Both of these players ran Omnath Adventures into the ground, I must say. They ran it into the ground. The finals was a card-for-card mirror. It's very hard to watch. And I'm not going to play that because the bans are already live. So I guess we're going to play a different deck. So what was the deck that performed the best in the Grand Finals tournament? It's supposed to be like this year's Worlds. Well, and it doesn't have Omnath or Lucky Clover or Escape to the Wilds. Is there such a deck? There is. There is. That deck is played by Autumn Burchett, Emma Handy, and Luis Salvato, and is Gruul Adventures, or it's called Adventures, but the adventure theme is a very sub-theme. So while the dust settles, as the bans are only a few hours fresh as I record this, and we come up with the next things that we're going to play, I am particularly interested in bringing back Control in a world without Lucky Clover. So expect lots of evil and torture for the opponents. But for today, we're going to play the best performing deck from that tournament and try to get an idea if, was this a meta deck? Did it only have a good matchup with Adventures? Or is this just a good deck that you should consider crafting and playing in the new meta? So my version of the deck went up to 4 Shattered Skull Smashing to get more removal into the deck, Crowbar more removal into the deck, 4 Primal Mites, 4 Embercleaves, 4 Gem Razors, 4 Bone Crusher Giant, 4 Lovestruck Beasties, 4 Mammoths, 2 Oozes, 4 Brushfire Elemental, 4 Serpent, 4 Innkeeper. Brushfire Elemental is probably the spiciest bit of tech from the deck. I think you've seen or have been able to see, if you wanted to, the Landfall aggro deck with a Chrome Hellhound, Brushfire Elemental, Kazandu Mammoth, and other things that say Landfall, and Evolving Wilds, and Fabled Passage, and trying to hit hard that way. This blends the best thing about that deck, which in my opinion is this card, Brushfire Elemental. The ability to not be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and the haste allows it to really hit out of nowhere, and it hits so hard at a pretty low cost if you have a Passage or an Evolving Wilds. It gives the deck a bigger god draw, if that makes sense. So in the cost of Brushfire Elemental is that we have less adventures. Look closely. You have Edgewall Innkeeper, but you only have 4 Giants and 4 Lovestruck Beast. No Rimrock Knights. Something had to go. Is Edgewall Innkeeper still fine if it only maybe draws 1 card a game and the rest of the time is a 1-mana 1/1? I think it's a high RNG play because when the Innkeeper is good, it's very good. But when the Innkeeper draws no cards, it's pretty bad. But that does mean your hand has probably Brushfire Elemental and Gem Razor, which is very good. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Maybe having a 1-mana 1/1 isn't that bad when you also have Elemental into Gem Razor. By the way, Gem Razor on the Elemental, sweet. Indeed. Stonecoil Serpent is another nod to running 4 main deck Gemrazor, which the main thing about Gemrazor was Clover. So curious if we still need to be running this, want to be running this, what it's hitting. Annex Hardened in the Forge is a big one for best of 1. Ember Cleave is kind of a side effect. Usually by the time you play this on a cleave, you're not going to win that game. You already took a hit from it. And the other card I'm thinking of is Vantress Gargoyle, which is growing in popularity in Rogues. Seth Manfield played it in the Grand Finals in Rogues, so I'm seeing more Vantress Gargoyles. Gemrazor loves that. So, yeah. I'm not sure if this deck is still good or if it was a strong meta call, and that's the main reason we're playing it today. Hopefully give you some ideas as well. The sideboard is still here. A big part of the reason that Edgewall Innkeeper is still pretty good was the sideboard. Empress Shieldbreaker, good against Clover. Came in a lot of matchups. I think 72% of the Grand Finals meta was playing Omnath of some kind, and most of it was the Adventure version. So that was a way to keep your Innkeeper relevant, bringing these out of the board. The rest of the board is probably tuned against a meta that has changed a lot, and I'm not sure if you should play it or not. Croaky's is strongly advocating Great Henge in the deck. I can't argue. This card might be pretty bonkers in the new meta, where games can go longer, and going over the top with an epic ramp finish is probably very hard. So you might want some Henge in the main. All right, I've introduced the deck, the bans. I'll talk about it a little bit at the end. Let's just have a moment without overanalyzing to say thank you. Let's dive in and let the nonsense begin. Ah, that beautiful mana. Actually, this can be okay. I think we will turn 1 make a critter, then turn 2 make a decision. If we draw another land, we're free to keep the Mammoth. If not, we may just have to play it. Off to the races. Hello. So the safe play here is the Mammoth and probably a Serpent. Black, probably Rogues. We do want to make sure that we play Lovestruck Beast into Embercleave, or at least have that threat available on time, which means we have to sequence like this. We definitely want to Embercleave on turn 4. Like that's... We have 2 of them. We've got to get 1 cast. Miasmine Tome, oh boy. Alright, party begins. That's so awkward. Because I would love to play that, then play the beast, but... I think we've got to put it to him with Embercleave next turn. If they counter it, we have another, and we got 1 out of our hand and exchange it for a counter spell. If they let it resolve, we probably need to attach it to a smaller creature, because the beast obviously is going to die at that point. Send a very clear signal here on the fetch. Two blockers. 2 cleavers. He has negate. You saw them reach for that tome? Okay, he has negate. Wow. Alright. Should we hold back the Innkeeper? If the opponent untaps and plays Extinction Event, they'll name... If they name even, the beast can't attack, so we need to hold this back. Well, I guess if I play this and they name odd. The other thing is I play this, they name odd, and I lose the beast and the Innkeeper. I think we'll try the hold backsies. Give it up for the opponent. They had negate in the right spot. Now they're topping a card. Looks like they've got the answers this time. There's the event. Let's see if what they name. They go with even to try to neutralize the beast. We need a creature. Another creature would be really nice. Thank you. Now we get to still hit for 5. Now everything's odd if we play this. If they have second event, that's so bad. But we have to play it because the opponent's going to gain 4 life from the tome. So we just have to go for it. We're out of options. If the opponent has 2 events, rip. If the opponent has spot removal or another counter, we might be able to beat that. We have a lot of damage. Like, this is 9. This puts them up to 9. So they have to be able to interact with the Embercleave and or a creature. Or the creature I put the cleave onto. Which I could throw it on the Innkeeper. Opponent's scrying on the draw step. Sign of desperation. Scry to the bottom. Don't have it. One time. Don't have it. Shadow's Verdict, Extinction Event. Those things are game over. Vision. Seems good. Game. Big decision of the match. Hold back the Innkeeper. Okay. Let's rumble. It doesn't look like much, but it is a turn 1 Innkeeper, turn 2 Brushfire or Bone Crusher, turn 3 it just hurts really bad. And you know when you keep a hand that hurts really bad, it's mono red, but not in this case. Opponent forgot to mono red us. Interesting. What you got? Scoos! Sweet. Let's hold back the Brushfire. I really want to play Bone Crusher Giant and get to draw a card, because I am genetically wired to draw cards. It's just how I is. Come on, Fabled Passage. That will do. I think we still play the Bone Crusher Giant this turn. The next turn we can play Brushfire, crack the Evolving Wilds. Ooh. Ooh. I like it so much. You know, 6 damage to myself. No big deal. I don't think they have anything. That resolved way too easily. Uh-huh. Come at me. No? So, it's a questing beast. It's a trade, no matter what we do here. I could hold back the Brushfire even longer, play the Mammoth to have my double green source, but this is my double green source. We could play this, pump it up, see what the opponent wants to block. I think they would definitely block the Brushfire. If we attack first, maybe they won't trade, but they didn't attack, so they plan to trade. There's nothing I really want to use the Primal Might for. I think I'm best off getting this on the field. No, they didn't kill this last turn. They won't kill it this turn. Let's use our biggest Brushfire hit now, and then we'll have Mammoth available for the turn following. Opponent could block the Innkeeper, so I think that attack is too greedy. I mean, it would push a lot of damage. But next turn we might have the cleave anyway. No. Dun. Okay, let's get the extra damage in. I want the untapped land next turn for sure. Oh, there was a Fabled Passage on top too. So is it another questing beast? Yep, I had a feeling. So we can hit the land drop with the Mammoth, make this a 3/3, attack with both, threaten the Embercleave. If the opponent blocks here, we kill the beast. If they block here, we go over the top for a good chunk of damage. We could also play a Bone Crusher Giant. We could play a Bone Crusher Giant fight. I don't really like that. I think it's cleave. Goes for the Innkeeper. So do we want to kill this questing beast and leave the cleave behind, or do we want to hit the opponent for 8 and let them have a questing beast that will trade with something of ours? I think it's a pretty clear kill the beast moment. Kill the beast. Kill the beast. Big G. That's not a land. But oof. That's not enough. The Primal Might is not enough. Put this on here, it's a 2. That's not good enough. And that Gargaroth is a big problem. But we can kill it next turn. Do we just want to play an Ooze and start growing it? Ooze plus Embercleave is a lot. Also, getting an Ooze down first is important since the opponent will probably play Ooze. This doesn't grow. It might hit and gain some life, but it doesn't grow. Just going to get this on the field. Don't know how good it is to hold back a Bone Crusher Giant here. Maybe it was supposed to be on the field as well. It's a big turn for a Gem Raiser. If they take out the Cleave, that's huge. But they go with the 3/3. I think that's a good sign for us. Or maybe not. Maybe drawing a card would be a better sign. Down to 4 we go. Don't kill it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We really need a land off the top here. Ugh. God, that hurts. Man, that hurts. Just faced a much bigger green. Oh, Brushfire, you did me dirty. You did me dirty. So what's the play? We don't really have one, do we? We can hope the opponent blocks and then Bone Crush this thing. It's not good. Not remotely good. One land short. Alright, I don't have enough blocker to win, so game over. Ugh. It doesn't feel like it's enough land, but... Okay. I mean, obviously it's an all-spell hand, but you know what I mean. Let's get the Mammoth down. Next turn, probably a Brushfire or a Bone Crusher Giant, depending how far behind we are. Looks like we're going to be well behind. Very behind is the answer. And it's the Thief. No? No Thought Thief. Weird. Okay, so 2 cards in the graveyard. The opponent could counter this. We go for it anyway. If they spend their mana countering it, then we slow them down. Yep. Nice. Okay, we get to untap here, 2 damage there. We could do it differently. If I make a 1/1, it can't attack very well. That's true. Ooh, this is our other red source, though. Ugh. Alright, I think I let this thing attack for another turn then. Which, it's not milling me on the attacks, and if they had a Thought Thief we would have seen it, so it's not the end of the world. So, all that we know is generic roguey stuff. Only 1 black. Could be Heartless Act, could be Lofty Denial, could be another Drown in the Lock. There's just too many things, quite frankly. So, I don't think this is a turn where we go for something like an Embercleave. I think we want to deploy our adventures. Let's start with the Lovestruck Beast. I think it's the one I would miss the least. That kind of rhymed. Okay, that's the Drown. Okay, they have a Brazen Borrower, I think. Let's see if they use it here. Okay. So, play the Innkeeper. Stomp your dude. And now they're pressured to deal with the Innkeeper before I get a free card. 4 cards in our graveyard. Oh, that's a draw. Oh, that's a draw. Let's get some cards. So we could kill the Wind Robber here to attack for 1. I don't think that's worth it. We also could hold back the land to make sure Brushfire Elemental is good for a few turns. All right, next turn's going to be a hot one. Spicy meatball. Opponent's getting aggressive. How much more disruption do they have? Will they be able to stop the Cleave and the Brushfire Elemental? Let's find out. Next turn on Gruul Adventures. Baby. That resolves. Red source. I would like to attack with my squad. What you got? Heartless Act. Okay. 2 damage to you. Dies. Anything else? Then I will try for the Cleave. Down to 5. So, optional play there. With the Heartless Act on the stack, I could have cast Ember Cleave, had a mana left over, and been able to Primal Might a creature. I think I should have done that. I think that was a mistake. I just took a risk there I don't feel like I had to take. So the Gem Razor has to go on the Brushfire Elemental, which is unfortunate, because if the opponent has a removal spell, that's where it's going. So I don't think we like that. I think we want to Primal Might up these Innkeepers for lethal. Like so. Leave 1 mana open. Why? To replay an Innkeeper if it gets Brazen Bounced? I suppose. We can also cast the other Primal Might in theory. Nice game. Woo! Nice game. On the play. All day. Oh my gosh, it's the double Brushfire hand. So we don't open on Evolving Wilds for sure, because we want to play Brushfire into Evolving Wilds, into Hurt You. I'm ready. The aggro mage in me is awakening. I want to smirk your face. All right, play your tap land. Do it. Fable Passage. Did they know? I'm not streaming. How did they know they were dead already? I don't understand. It's a good hand. It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Draw land and it's basically perfect. Like that. Tempting, because I don't know when I'll play it, but let's do this instead. Roguers. Attack first. If the opponent... I would take a trade with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. If the opponent plays the Thought Thief, we can Bone Crush it. And all we lose is the 1/1. That works too. Alright, do we say go and plan to use this giant, or do we get this Brushfire on the frickin' field so it can attack next turn? Or maybe I play this, so I can play Lovestruck Beast and draw. If the opponent spends their turn removing it, am I happy? Brushfire also allows the Lovestruck Beast to attack. Alright, proactiveness. Scavenger on time. That is a frustrating one. We're going to need a lot of land to kill it. But we're setting up a cleave here. If the opponent has counter magic to protect the Scavenger, they're in a really good spot, but we don't have many cards in our graveyard. It's just a whittle Scavenger right now. So let's see what they do. They don't have double blue right now for Brazen Borrower. They're attacking. All right, the cleave game is open, but we know it's actually not going to work. Okay, buddy. Okay, dude. So what are they going to do? I think it's just a spot removal spell here, which means we should play another hasty threat. If we play this, we get the double pump like Wilds would do, but we have Bone Crusher open. If they play a Thought Thief, we can trade the Thought Thief and the Innkeeper. I don't think they have that, but it just makes me feel free attacking with Innkeeper. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum. I feel free. Ooh. I know, things you never thought you needed. Cool. Bounce the cheap creature with haste, take 6. I can dig it. We also don't have... We can replay this now, but we put a card in the graveyard, which means they gain an extra life. But I think it's the right play. I think I'm about to get rankled, and there's not much I can do about it. We also have to give up the landfall, but we have Evolving Wilds next turn. But yeah, let's replay our friend, the Brushfire Elemental. Try to make our Embercleave cheaper, try to hit him hard. We can also Shatter Skull Smashing the Scavenger next turn. But there's no way I'm tapping out for something like that if I can make multiple plays against somebody with open mana. Okay, you've got a removal spell, I get it. Which one are you, what are you going to play it on? Nothing. So, good move. It makes our attacking pretty rough. But either way, we should be able to trade with this. The problem is, it puts us in a spot where we need to equip the Embercleave. And then after we do, the opponent plays a removal spell on the Embercleave creature. So what we probably want to do is just not play the Embercleave and make sure we kill this in combat. Trade it for something, right? Then play the Ooze. All right, they're lining up their torpedoes. And it's a Drown in the Lock on Edgewall Innkeeper to keep Lovestruck Beast from attacking. That will do. That will do. But Brushfire is still going to hit. And then what do? We play Scavenging Ooze. And there is a creature to eat. So see if the opponent wants to trade this. They do. They don't. They don't. They do. Okay. Another red or another green. I know. Tough decisions, I know. With Ooze, I'll take the green. So they didn't attack and they didn't block with Scavenger. That's not the worst. Oh man, that sucks. Hopefully they're out of counters. I know, what am I saying, right? This deck never runs out. But yeah, they had us covered about 15 ways that turn. It was never going to be a good turn for us. Now we just have to try to make something out of nothing here. Pick up Scavenger. All right. All right. I think that's a sign, though, that they're missing more interaction, or they would play something else. All right, so I do need to kill both of these, but I also want to hit my land and make another beast and attack. This is rough. All right, forget killing both of these. Dude, these games with rogues are good. Like, you can't deny that there's a lot going on in these matches. Sad Hedron. I still haven't equipped that emote. I need to do that sometime. Oh no, another one! And they go for it. Uh-oh. So they go up to 9. There's a Gem Raiser. 1, 2, 3. Gem Raiser, I think, does it with Cleave. We equip... If we suit up here... like so... Think I got you. Give him the stare down. All right, that's... So, I mean, they're totally... Like, I'm not going to be mad about that good game. Because I'm pretty sure at this point they're doing the math and being like, well, Embercleave loses, and they're trying to say, yeah, I guess I lose to Cleave. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The Scavengers didn't carry the day this time. Sure, we can try this out. Ooze into Razor into possible Cleave. No one drop, but we don't play too many. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's mono red. You really don't want to play your Ooze here into a Bone Crusher Giant. But I don't think our hand allows us to do anything else. Like, holding it back is kind of a neat idea, but okay. At least we ate a Royal Eruption. And our Mammoth did not. Go Mammoth. Yes! Gem Razor loves this. And a Bone Crusher Giant. Must be my birthday. Oh, it should have been over, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake because this would have been 1 point bigger because the base on this is a 3-3 and the base on Gem is a 4-4. I got it in my head that the Mammoth was a 5-5. Just kind of got that stuck in my brain for a second. Shouldn't have done that. Opponent feeling aggressive. Can they kill me next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13, 14, 15. 16. They can kill me. Can I kill them right now? 7, 16. Yes, I can. Let's see what they do. If they do block this, then they can't kill me on the swing back anyway. So we got them. Misplay not quite punished. Live by the Cleave, die by the Cleave. The sword got lit. Content hand. 100% spam this Innkeeper. Easy content hand. Oh no. Never gonna draw that third land. Let's be real. Let's be real, everyone. The opponent's just gonna have a Blazing Volley in their deck, random. This is mono red, they play mono red. Alright, cool. Now that we've thinned our deck, we're supposed to top deck lands immediately after thinning the deck, 100%. So, wow! Alright. Fervent Champion, Ekholm, Hellhound, Rip. Get out. I mean, I told you we wouldn't draw the land. Like, this should be known information. None of you should be surprised. Perfect draw from mono red. Absolutely flawless. Have we here? Doesn't deal with our problems, though, unfortunately. Guess I've got to get something on the board to try to trade with the Annex, which means I don't have time for the Innkeepers, I should say. And they attack here and play Embercleave, and of course we lose. Okay, no Embercleave yet. Down to 4. Another land? Okay. So now what? Well, killing the Annex is an option. I think what we have to do, though, is hope to chump block the Annex. If the opponent floods out from here and we put blockers in front of this for a few turns and draw something big, that's probably our best chance. So this gets in front of Ferv, this gets in front of Annex, this pokes for 1, and we hope the opponent has nothing. And that's how we get in the game. It's not nothing. Not nothing. That's it? Weird. Why not the Robber? They're scared of that trade? That's not an adventure creature, which is what we very much needed. Man, this Primal Might is just too much. We just don't have the mana to play it. Too much mana. I guess I play a 3/3 because the opponent was really conservative, so we'll just throw another Innkeeper under the bus to the Annex, or we can try to trade the Annex with the Mammoth. But we're at 4. They were really conservative for a red mage. Okay. Everything but Hellhound. They drew Embercleave, because why wouldn't they? So we have options like this, and this, and this. If we want to try to maximize here, or if we want to try to kill the Annex. Like, I think they have another Annex is the problem, but if they have one, it doesn't matter. Making a million tokens is also lethal to us. Another option is something like this. Go to 2. The opponent makes 3 tokens. We only have 2 creatures left. It's not good. Yeah. I think it's like this. Rude of them to make me do all that when I'm dead to a cleave no matter what. Let's see. Interesting. Another sad cleave off the top. I think I've seen enough of this game. Rip. On the draw, I don't know. Opponent has Lurrus. Ooze is good against Lurrus. There's only 2. We kind of have 4 lands, but 3 of them are tapped. We do have a turn 2 Brushfire. Let's give it a shot. Man, these hands look weird, though. Save the Evolving Wilds to go with the Brushfire. Castle Nocturne. Well, castles are from Eldraine, too. Beacons of Fair Magic. You run out of stuff to do, you pile mana into this castle. Beacons of Fair Magic in an unfair set. Okay. Rogues. Rogues that take a long time to get played. Let's go straight for the ooze. So if they have Drown in the lock, they're going to be able to clear this ooze right away because they add an Enforcer. This matchup has been really tight so far, like the Rogues Gruul matchup, with a lot of stuff going on. Nothing. Edgy. I really do want to hit him with Brushfire, but I also want to eat my graveyard and position myself for better things. And the mana's awkward, because I have 2 untapped red, 1 untapped green, and this requires green. I think I might be best off... What do they have? Do they have another Thieves Guild Enforcer? They might have a Thought Thief. If they could have killed this, I think they would have, so I don't think they have a Drown. Let's go for the Elemental and see what happens. Could be a Lofty Denial. Heartless Act. Heartless Act I think they would have used on the ooze right away. Maybe not. Oh my goodness. It is a tough matchup, I admit. Alright, so would I trade an ooze for 2 creatures, or even for their Thieves Guild? Probably not, right? So just you? Gotta remember Brazen Borrower too. That's always a card they have lurking. But I don't think there's any reason not to go for the Wilds. It puts another card in the graveyard, but I don't think they're going to get to 8 because of it. Oh, they don't have Brazen Borrower because of Lurrus. That makes sense. Alright, slow roll on the Heartless Act. And a remove. Okay. That's tilting. Had to have it, didn't they? Had to have it all. But that's how the deck works. It's sort of a sneaky control deck, isn't it? Alright, let's... Man, I don't have anything to... God, the mana's so bad. I can go for both sides of a Lovestruck Beast, or I can go for Innkeeper into a Lovestruck Beast, but then I'm down a 1/1, and any removal spell turns the beast off, which is really bad. And I think we need the creatures right now. But if I just pass the turn with 2 1/1s, it's really bad. It's like no power there. So I'm not sure. I think I'd rather have the card. Maybe we'll draw into more 1/1s. Let's put Edgy on the stack. Really need to draw more 1/1s. As weird as that sounds. Because if this beast doesn't get to attack next turn, it's a disaster. So how many removal spells? There's another Thieves Guild. That doesn't surprise me too much. They power up to 3/2s. Should I block with the beast? Just get something for it? If I assume the Innkeeper is going to die, I should block with the beast. Okay, they're tapping for Frantic. Oh, now I don't think it's going to die. They're playing defensive. Oh no. They're in trouble. They are in trouble. We can kill both of these, or we can cleave. I think we should cleave while we can, but we lose the Innkeeper doing it. Well, we lose something. No, we're better off smashing them. Oh, we can't smash both, actually. I keep on thinking this is a doubler. It's not. All right. So what's the play? It's cleave then. We should get the cleave onto the battlefield. No blocks. Okay. I am stunned. All right, Innkeeper, you've got to make it. We need you, buddy. Let's pick green because we have a lot of green costs here in our hand. Innkeeper, it's all on you. That or we have to draw another 1/1. Man, this has been a tough game. The opponent flinched a bit on that frantic inventory, gave us a window, we hit him hard. Now we need to close, and it looks like both enforcers are coming in. It's time for a race. Oh, another mammoth. So the Innkeeper is going to die. That's obviously the play here. If we move the Embercleave, that doesn't change a thing. These mammoths are still hella awkward on the mana base. Heartless Act on the Beast? Okay. So they're willing to take 1. Lucky me. I'm glad I got any damage in that turn. I'm not paying 3 here, right? I wonder... So, should I play a Gem Razor for the 4/4? Nah, it's more surprising this way. And we might get extra damage, but yeah, we play you. We're not going to equip here, right? The opponent just kills it. We lose. Should I play this tapped so next turn I can smash both of these? I think so. Gosh, that's awkward. Let's see, that would be a 6 cost, and there's 10 cards in graveyard. So Drown in the Law could save the opponent, but do you think they have it? They just top deck the land. I'm guessing they have Into the Story as at least one of these cards. The others aren't lands, so what are they? Could be another Frantic Inventory. Double attack. That's bad. We should trade while we can then. I don't think we're the beatdown here, because next turn, equipping this and going for the win that's just a loser line. Like, that's never going to work out. The opponent wouldn't make this attack if they didn't have that covered. So if we can't win from that attack, we need to trade. They have a Gargoyle, but they only have 3 cards. So they have removal for this. That attacks for 5. We have to kill the Thieves Guild Enforcer. We could also play Gem Razor, equip it, and hope that's good enough. If the opponent kills it, so be it. We can't mutate the Gem Razor onto the Innkeeper because it's a creature. Or it's a human, rather. So I think the opponent's hand beats a removal spell, which means we have to smash. Which is, I would prefer to smash the Enforcer, but at least the Enforcer is a 2-turn clock. It gives us more draws. Nope. Shouldn't have attacked with Edgy, I guess. Should have done that first. These games are freaking hard. But I mean, man, removal's good, guys. Flash is good and removal is good. We'll try this hand. On the draw, I don't think you can ask for much more than some Bone Crushers. But these decks are going to need some changes. A lot of the things that we need to kill, I don't know if Bone Crusher lines up well with Thought Thief being the biggest one. I guess against those, you just try to overpower them, but on best of one on the draw. That's usually not an option. Everything you do is too slow. So you do need like ways to answer cards the turn they are played, which this deck doesn't really have. I think this deck also needs at least 2 more land. 26 is not enough. It's been mana screwed so many times for me, and I know that sounds weird. Maybe it's my luck with aggro, you know? Other people aggro, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, smash. I aggro, it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. How does anybody ever play this deck? 2. Thundering Rebuke on 2. Wow. Really hating on that Innkeeper. Okay, thank you for the Bone Crusher bait. Appreciate it. Double Gem Razors with nothing to put them on. You can put them on the Giant. I don't want to put them on the Giant. Hurts me. All right, land off the top, can we? We can. I wasn't specific enough. I wasn't specific enough. Classic. Oh, this is what we're doing. Late. That's fine, though. You can have 1/1s. I'm going to make large, trampling, double striking things. Beast in the house. Next turn I can cleave for 14. Although they'll block something, so they'll live at 1. No, they won't. Kill it. Oh, I should have killed this token because they'd be afraid to block with the swarm. Oh, look at you. Look at you with Scorching Dragonfire. So that's like kind of what I was talking about. I think ways to kill things that have 3 toughness like Scorching Dragonfire are going to have a place in the meta. It's a very control heavy. So I guess it's ramp, removal, and Scoot Swarm. That's how we're winning games. Probably has Terror of the Peaks too. And that's the scoop. It's the Scoop Swarm. And we are back to wrap up video 617 in a row. Woo! Hard to say those numbers without really like, holy crap, how did we get here? But one thing that has gotten us here and will continue to drive us, changing metas. And metas often used to only change with new sets being introduced and sets rotating. Now they change very often because of bans. Bans, bans, and more bans. But I'm going to tell you my honest opinion on this. I think we did it. I think we got there. I haven't said this in a long time, but I think the format we're about to play might be the best format since War of the Spark was introduced, and definitely since Eldraine was introduced. I think we got to the place where the mana is no longer free, where the end games are predictable but interactable. For example, Embercleave. You can predict it, you can interact with it, you can beat it. Winota, same thing. Like, these are creatures, or they require a creature to be good, a board state to be good. There are multiple ways to handle that. I'm okay with that. If aggro is good, I'm okay with that because I can wake up every day excited to try to beat aggro. I can't wake up every day excited to try to beat over the top ramp. Some people are saying mill is now broken. Guys, get a spinal column. There's nobody forcing you to play 60 cards in your deck. Show up with the 250 stack, baby. If you want to beat mill, you've got it. The tools are definitely there. They're basically saying you start at as much life as you want to, up to 243 7-card hand. You can handle this. You can beat it. It may annoy you. There is mental damage from milling. The fear of missing out on the card you would have drawn if it was a good one. But you can handle that. People saying to ban Mill are just, come on. At some point, you have to shut up and play Magic. Shut up and play. Step up. Mill is kind of exciting. That's never been as viable a win con as it is now. So I like that angle, but I don't think it's going to be as good now that people aren't drawing half their deck on their own. Edgewall Innkeeper is still around, and that's a good little draw engine, but it's intractable. It's a creature. And this is just... I think this is just a strong, solid deck. Some of the card choices need to change. We might have to think about killing things with 3 toughness, but it's a very good deck. Very happy to see it around. Yeah, control. Now that there's no more turn 2 Lucky Clover to make every other game that I played with my control deck absolutely miserable, I'm excited to try all kinds of variants of control. And just overall, I think that we did it. If I turn out to be wrong, I'm wrong. But this is the first time I'm going to predict that we don't need another ban until we see what the next broken Mythic is in the next set. But in the meantime, we will always remember this. We will always remember the day Omnath was banned. In Historic, suspended. In Brawl, banned, and especially in Standard, banned. See you in the next video. Goodbye.